teams have great defenses and athletes that thrive in the open court. Offensively, these teams can strike from anywhere on the floor.
Drexler.
Every game we've had against them has been a war.
Using their size and strength, both sides can be very physical.
We look in the mirror, we're looking at Portland Trailblazers.
When Rick Adelman needs to rest his starters, he's got a good bench to turn to. And though Chicago may have the best reserves in basketball, both teams have three-point shooters, rebounders, and capable defenders to bring into the game.
There's no question about it. It's a mirror image. Their team has got such similarities to our team.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
We're going to have to control the tempo, because if they control the tempo, I don't know if we can keep up.
They're the Chicago Bulls out there on the West Coast.
Not only do we have a matchup of two of the best teams in the league, but we also have two of the league's premier players going head-to-head. Both Jordan and Drexler are on most people's short list for this year's MVP award.
You got to make him work. And the more he works, the less he'll be able to do, hopefully. I think that's your game plan.
For Drexler and the Blazers, their approach is simple. Try and contain Michael Jordan.
We're just looking to try to surround him if he's going to the basket. I think with him, it's always best. We don't play him that much, but it's always best to make him shoot the ball.
That's good strategy, unless the game is on the line.
Michael inside, the fade, the shot scores, 1 second left.
But for the NBA's fifth leading scorer, this one-on-one duel isn't at all one-sided.
Face him up and bust his ass to the basket.
Clyde. Drexler shuts him off. Clyde spins back and scores.
Clyde has always been a potent offensive threat, but now he's starting to show he'll do whatever it takes to succeed.
This year he seems to have been able to fit the need that they have to win ball games, much like Michael was able to do last year.
The Bulls have already matured into champions. The Trailblazers have been to the finals, but come away frustrated.
You can have all the athletes that you want on the squad, but if you can't translate it into winning, doesn't serve you very well.
Despite great individual talent, the Bulls play as a team.
If you're in isolation, if things don't work out, communicate with each other out there in the fall.
Until the Blazers rise up and win the title, they'll always have their doubters.
Just played basketball.
I think this is a crucial year. If they're going to get to the finals and win it, I think this is the year they ought to try to do it.
This is what it's all about. One possession now.
I think to be able to get to that level, you have to bring your game, your mental game with you as well as your physical game.
The road is going to be easier for Chicago. Not only are they the defending champions, but they've shown that they match up well with the better teams in the East, and the West is better balanced overall, so Portland might have to go through Golden State, Phoenix, Utah, even a team like Seattle if they drew them in an early round series. Seattle extended them to 5 last year.
Well, I agree with you, Bob, but I think the real point here is Portland, there's a window of opportunity in anything. In basketball, Portland is at the very end of that window, and if they don't get it this year, I think they don't have a very good chance of getting it from here on in, because their players are starting to get older. Buck is starting to get older, and as you see guys get older, obviously their skills go down. They're in the back end of their window to win the championship.
And up next, the first of 2
The Trailblazers on the road 16-11. That is the 3rd best road record in the league. Only Chicago and Golden State are better. In fact, over the last 3 years, Portland has the best road record in the NBA. And this the finale of a 3-game road trip for the Blazers, a journey that began with a 2-point loss to the Nets on Thursday night. Rick Adelman telling us it was Portland's worst performance the last 2 years. Portland had won 11 straight against New Jersey. And the Trailblazers in their black uniforms control the tip. Here's Porter, rebounded by Jordan. So Jordan and Paxson at the guards. Pippen with Grant and Cartwright up front. Pippen rebounded by Kevin Duckworth.
He's developed so much confidence in his outside game. Normally he would have taken that right to the basket to dunk it. Instead he pulled up, shot the soft jumper.
Porter played by Paxson. Buck Williams looking to post up on Horace Grant. And here's Buck going to the hook. And again, Jordan off the board. We're just underway in Chicago before the 219th consecutive sellout crowd. Cartwright with a nice fake. Yes.
All set up by the backdoor move that time of Michael Jordan. The threat was there. Duckworth had to back off to stop the easy layup for Jordan. Instead, the open jumper.
Pippen got a piece of it. Pippen trying to cut off Kersey as Jordan went for the steal. Here's Kersey. Jerome Kersey coming off an 0 for 6 on Friday against the Bullets. Pippen getting the screen from Cartwright. Shot clock at 5. Pippen surprised to see that it was wide open.
No one between Pippen and the basket. I mean, you got to take it to the hole.
And Mike, both these clubs starting off in very deliberate fashion. Here's Duckworth. Second and final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. Paxson, that's 2-point range. Back in late November, the Bulls beat the Blazers in double overtime. Drexler will go to the foul line. He took the hit.
A moment ago, Scottie Pippen catches, faces up, and he said, this is the thing I do best now is turn and face to see what's going on. Well, that time, he saw no one between he and the basket.
Clyde Drexler to the foul line. He was hit by Michael Jordan. Clyde, a 79% free throw shooter.
As Clyde pushed it in transition, I don't think Michael really thought he was going to come at him hard off the dribble. He saw the seam, he took it strong.
An illustration of the kind of all-around season that Clyde Drexler has enjoyed. And as you mentioned earlier, in that first meeting against the Bulls, 38 points and 12 rebounds. Jordan with a 40-point explosion. Now Jordan played by Kersey on the switch. Yes. The Bulls 6 and the Trailblazers 2.
By interchanging positions on the floor in the Bulls offense, they forced the switch that time. Then Jordan knows he can go past Kersey off the dribble.
Drexler protecting the dribble. And Duckworth trying to save it. The look away, but Pippen could not get to it.
Well, the Bulls did what they wanted to. That was forced turnovers, trying to pressure the Trailblazers into passing the basketball, perhaps not giving them credit for being a real skilled team. At the other end, Michael assuming Scottie was looking.
3-point attempt by Porter, who's been hitting the three. Williams hit the floor. And now the Bulls with a 3-on-2. Paxson. Yes. Chicago with an 8-2 lead. Portland is 0 for 6 from the field. Kersey trying to avert Cartwright. Turned it over.
The good team defense that time. Cartwright saw that the back door was taking place. He left his man, established position as a result. Forces Kersey to lose concentration. The fumble out of bounds off his leg.
Cartwright. Oh. Stay right here, says Hugh Evans. Loose ball foul against the Trailblazers. Loose ball foul, Portland. Double O. It's on Kevin Duckworth. Kevin Duckworth played his college ball at Easton, Illinois from nearby Harvey, Illinois. Had to round up a host of tickets for friends and family.
And Duckworth had a problem this season getting an early foul trouble.
Coming off the disappointing playoff series, Kevin Duckworth hoping to come up big here back in his hometown area. Here's Duckworth feeling the contact. Yes, and it counts. And Duckworth will go to the line. That's the first field goal by the Blazers.
Now, this is one big body moving into you. Basically, Cartwright tries to hold his position. The feeling by the official that he moved underneath Duckworth when he was elevated. As a result, he goes to the line.
Kevin Duckworth shooting only 44% for the season. Rick Adelman has often elected to use Cliff Robinson at center in the fourth quarter.
It's because Duckworth has big quarters early in the game and seems to fade away at the end. So Rick makes the substitution, goes with someone else.
Wonderful pass. What a setup for Cartwright. His second field goal. Bulls lead by the score of 10-5. Now Drexler from downtown. And here comes Pippen. Jordan with it. Pippen all the way.
Well, that's got to be an ugly feeling to have Michael Jordan on one side and Pippen on the other, and you be the only guy back. My goodness.
Rick Adelman calling a 20-second timeout. His club now trails 12-5.
To show you the versatility of this guy, he sees the entire floor. He's unselfish. He's a point forward out there for Chicago. And then talk about two guys getting out and filling. If I'm Clyde Drexler right now, I'm saying big problems.
Scottie Pippen extending to the 12-5 lead. You take a look at both these ball clubs, both Chicago and Portland. They've had so much success, and both teams, and we were talking about it with both coaches, have been relatively free of injury. Now, the Bulls were hit early. Bill Cartwright sat out with a broken left hand, missed 17 games, but for the most part, that's been it. Paxson had an injury, missed 3 games. It will be Chicago ball. Paxson was out with a wrist problem. Timeout has been taken with just under 7 minutes remaining in the first. Paxson, the Blazers, if given the opportunity, he says, will self-destruct.
I think it's a reference to many close games that have come down to a turnover here or there that have gone against Portland.
12-5, the Bulls on top. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad from Chicago. And Terry Porter moves down against John Paxson. Now Duckworth backing in and hitting. Strong move by Duckworth, his second field goal. The Bulls 12 and the Trailblazers 7.
This is not unusual. Duckworth starts out many games with 8 to 12-point first quarters. It's the consistency factor that the Trailblazers are looking for.
Buck Williams switching off on Michael Jordan. There's Pippen. Now Jordan, that's 2-point range. So Michael only 1 for 4 halfway through the first quarter. Terry Porter in his 7th year out of Wisconsin. Stevens point. It's against Portland. Offensive foul. It's called on Buck Williams.
Buck Williams, designated screener, needs to free up the shooters, but if you move out of the way and go into the defensive guy, it's going to be called on you.
Cartwright. Well, both clubs are off here at the start. Kersey and Grant able to come up with an emphatic. Would you call it a block?
Not a block. That was way short of the rim. A catch, exactly.
The Bulls 12, the Trailblazers 7. Kersey able to recover. It's a 3-on-2 for Chicago. Jordan to the jump shot. Bulls lead 14-7.
Jordan gets the short jumper because Grant ran interference that time, kind of cleared out the lane to give Michael the clean look.
Cliff Robinson getting set to come on for Portland. Blazers only 2 of 11 here at the start. And Drexler has been quiet. Missed his only attempt from 3-point range. Porter. Williams. Blocked by Grant. Another break for the Bulls. Portland getting back. Paxson with the open shot. Oh, nice hustle by Pippen. Here's Paxson again. Yes. The Bulls lead 16-7.
They have such tremendous confidence in each other, the Bulls team. They're not afraid to go right back to the same guy and let him do his specialty. Paxson, knock out open shots.
Mismatch. Jordan now on Duckworth. Illegal defense called against the Bulls.
Well, there's a lot of forms, or many forms of defense, I should say, but the block shot is one that helps this Bulls team score many points. It gives them extra possessions, and then if you can keep it in play, it leads to a number of fast break opportunities.
And I guess Horace Grant's knee is already bruised it on Friday night. Played only 11 minutes against Milwaukee, affording both Cliff Livingston and Scott Williams playing time. They both played well. Cliff Robinson has come on. Duckworth got a piece of the glass. Buck Williams on the follow. The Bulls now lead 16-9. Kersey sitting down, following up his 0 for 6 the other night with an 0 for 4 here at the start. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first. Paxson. Pippen hit from behind. He's claiming it was in the act. Let's see what the call is.
Both coaches and both teams emphasize the fact that this is going to be a game on the glass. There is so much athletic talent and ability out here. Quick jumpers, second and third leapers. You need to box a man out, keep a body on if you can.
Foul called on Porter, and they say a non-shooting affair. Grant looking for position. And the foul call on Grant over the back of Duckworth.
And just frustrated right there. He had gotten the ball right to where he wanted to on the floor. It was just a matter of a simple layup. He blew it. It rolled off the rim. In his aggravation with himself, he was just a little too aggressive coming over the top of the back right there.
Horace Grant called for his first foul. 3:20 to go in this first quarter. It has not been the blazing pace that you would expect between these two clubs.
You know what I want to do?
The Bulls lead it 16-9. Drexler from deep. Yes. Clyde Drexler with his first field goal.
But in their first game this year, at the end of the first quarter, it was a 24-23 game, so maybe they just feel each other out initially.
Jordan had the shot deflected. He thought he was fouled, and the Clyde puts it down. So Portland now within 3. Phil Jackson arguing the call, has some words for the officials. Michael upset. 6-0 run by Portland. Here's Jordan. Cliff Robinson with the rebound. Cliff opening with the red-colored headband. Three-point attempt for Porter. So Terry Porter has tied the game at 16. Portland 8 for 11 from three-point range in their last game against the Bullets.
And a week ago against the Clippers, the team shoots 12 for 20 from the three-point line to beat the LA Clippers in their own building. So this team can do it.
Porter with the steal. Here's Porter putting the move on, and he is tripped up by Paxson. So the Trailblazers right back in it. 2:04 to go in this first quarter, and they've come from behind to tie the game at 16. We'll be back in Chicago in a moment.
Around good luck charms from arena to arena, and as you can see, here is a good luck charm of my colleague, Marv Albert. Marv, back to you and Mike. And did I say to you guys, shalom, senors?
Yes, you attempted to use that line. Did not work earlier during rehearsal. Incidentally, when we asked permission of Coach Rick Adelman to allow Ahmad into the dressing room, he mentioned that the players would make special caution to lock up their possessions with Ahmad lurking around.
I didn't realize you were a poster child now.
Yes.
No.
Terry Porter on the line. And the Trailblazers now lead it 17-16. They have reeled off 10 unanswered points.
So many of the games that both of these teams win are a result of a spurt that they find somewhere along the line, capable of running off those 14-2 type of things, and that's what you have the Trailblazers doing right now.
Portland leads by 2. 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Will Perdue has checked in, replacing Bill Cartwright. And Jordan stopped from behind by Robinson. Here comes Drexler. Yes! Drexler serving up a facial, and the Blazers with 13 unanswered now lead by 4. B.J. Armstrong has replaced John Paxson. Pippen. Scottie Pippen with his third field goal. He has 6. Portland 20 and Chicago 18. Buck Williams with the hook. Pippen being watched by Robinson. Here's Armstrong for three.
A little bit outside of his range, although a terrific open shooter, B.J. Armstrong.
A.J. Armstrong has picked up his stats. He's averaging 10 per game. Drexler for three. Abdelnaby, who just came on, not able to get to it. Jordan West to Drexler.
Lost the handle just long enough for Clyde to get that arm in there and pick it up.
This is Ala Abdelnaby in his second season out of Duke, looking to put moves on Will Perdue, and the push called on Perdue.
Clyde Drexler may be the best at seeing an open seam and then getting there quickly because of the long strides, the explosiveness that he has. And you talk about a finish, not too bad. At the other end of the floor, he'll show you that, hey, I can play defense as well. Gets a hand in, causes the fumble, and then kicks it out to a teammate.
Danny Ainge has come on. Replacing Terry Porter, sits down with 5 points. There's Danny Ainge in his 11th year from Brigham Young. Spent 7 years with Boston. Then on to Sacramento. This is second season with Portland. Ala Abdelnaby has been a mystery to the Portland coaching staff. When he enters the game early, he plays well. Usually has done a nice job in the first half, and he's been getting more playing time this season, but not the case in the second half.
The concern by the staff is how much does this guy really want it? How hard will he work over 48 minutes? They see signs, they see spurts, but they don't see long stretches of it. That's what they want. But he's very young, and he has a lot of good years ahead of him.
Michael Jordan with his third field goal. He has not shot well in this first quarter. He's 3 for 9 from the floor. He has 6 points. Portland leads by 2, and they'll hold for a final shot. No, apparently they won't. And a pushing foul, says Ronnie Knott. It's against Grant with 7 seconds to go in the quarter.
One of the toughest calls when there's a loose ball situation, everybody's diving after. Is it a foul or is it just good hard play going after it? That's why the crowd reacted the way it did.
The Bulls over the limit, so Drexler will go to the line, and another Portland substitution. Robert Pact, the surprising rookie from the University of Southern California, will check in. Clyde Drexler, a 79% free throw shooter. So here comes Pact. Greg Hodges coming on for the first time for the long range effect in the final seconds.
As you started to mention, it looked like Portland was going to run the clock down and go for the last shot. And going back to Phil Jackson's earlier statement, those are the type of things that people have questioned at the key times, the key moments. Yes, it's early in the game right now, but if that were the fourth quarter and you take a little bit too soon, you shoot yourself in the foot.
We talked about that with Clyde Drexler. We'll hear his response a little bit later on. The Bulls not able to get off a shot. Not a good quarter for the Bulls. A run by Portland to get them back into it, and the Blazers by 3 after 1. 13 consecutive points at one stretch by the Trailblazers. For Michael Jordan, only
look at first-round picks. Chicago has 10, Portland only 6. He said there's a lot of teams in the NBA with much higher picks than we have. Our guys go out and play hard. We win a lot of games.
There is a counter to that, though.
I figured you had, of course.
And Pippen will go to the line. Portland shot only 7 for 23 from the field in the first quarter. Chicago at 10 for 25. Cliff Robinson called for the foul. Portland opened up 2 for 14 from the field. They say a non-shooting foul. The counter concerning the draft picks, the fact that here's Armstrong. Perdue on the follow. And Portland leads by 1. Yes, there have been a lot of surprising players, guys who have developed. When you take a look at the first-round draft picks on this team and guys who have, certainly come from nowhere, people like Jerome Kersey out of Longwood College, or Terry Porter, who was not a known quantity, although he was a late first-rounder out of Wisconsin Stevens Point. Cliff Robinson, who was projected originally as a first rounder, dropped down to the second round, but
Kevin Duckworth,
right? But after these guys established themselves, more was expected. In effect, now it's a given that they are a very good team. Robert Pack called for the foul. So they've reached a certain level, and it is expected that they will play smart basketball. But also the style of Portland's play lends itself to turnovers and perhaps making mistakes because it is a run-and-shoot type club when they're going so well.
Well, you really don't like the way Clyde looks at the game.
No, I'm touching both sides.
Okay.
No, I don't say he's wrong. Here's Pippen. Wayne Cooper able to get to it, trying to get me into a debate with the glide. Robinson, and Portland leads by the score of 25-22. Then there was a statement earlier from Phil Jackson of the Bulls who said, well, eventually Portland will self-destruct. I think he's going to be hearing about that. In particular, if these two clubs compete in the championship series. Hodges for three.
Another specialist brought in to do what he does so well, knock out threes, extend the defense, give this team a boost here in the stadium.
Greg Hodges, who won his third straight long-distance shooting title at All-Star Weekend. Abdelnaby was hit by Livingston, Cliff Livingston, on the floor for the first time, setting the Bulls, who have made wholesale substitutions. Scottie Pippen has remained out with the second unit. He has Hodges and Armstrong in the backcourt. Pippen up front with Livingston and Purdue.
Well, when it's prime time, you will always have either Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen on the floor for the Bulls. That's the glue that keeps the rest of the players together. Either one of them will always be out there for Phil Jackson.
Ala Abdelnaby, a 75% free throw shooter. A man who played in 3 Final Fours with Duke University. Played only 43 games as a rookie, but had an expanded role after Mark Bryant's foot injury. And as we mentioned earlier, has been getting the playing time this year, in particular in the first half. Armstrong with the step, goes to the hook as he was met by Cooper. Aggressive move by Purdue, and a foul called on the Trailblazers.
One of the things that has consistently crept up on Portland is the fact that they get excited on bad calls, and it tends to take them out of games.
Cliff Robinson picked up that foul. We'll be back after this timeout.
6 o'clock Friday night, there's nothing like vacation time.
5 early in the second quarter, and we are watching two of the highest scoring teams in the NBA. Golden State is #1. Portland and Chicago ranking 4 and 5.
Perhaps both teams came out a little too pumped up for this game. Need to get warmed up a little bit, get some easy scores in transition, but it starts with defense.
Both clubs remaining the same following the timeout. Hodges working against Ainge. Pippen had it knocked away, and a foul on Pack. Robert Pack, whose spirited play has made him very popular in Portland. He's been a surprise, signed as a free agent after a good showing at the Southern California Summer League. Led USC in assists last year, averaging 15 points a game. Here's Pippen shaking off Robinson, rebounded by Abdelnaby.
Pack got time early in the season, lost some time recently to Enos Watley, and now just kind of earned his minutes back again.
Robinson with the lob intended for Abdelnaby.
Well, the thought was good. It's the execution that counts.
Pippen going all the way. Beautiful move as he went to the left hand, but could not convert. Abdelnaby up front now with Cooper and Robinson. Pack and Ainge at the guards. Abdelnaby. And back come the Bulls. 3-on-2. Armstrong. Purdue. Neither club able to execute. They're tied at 25. Robinson. And he was blocked.
Well, Scottie Pippen's feeling the fact that Robinson was jumping back to the inside of the floor, Pippen just holding his ground. His feeling is that it was just an incidental thing, but the foul's called.
Scottie Pippen called for his first. Cliff Robinson in his third NBA season from the University of Connecticut, a second-round pick who was knocked well, at UConn for being a bit on the soft side. That not the case, though, in the NBA. He has been a very tough, solid player who can defend all three front court positions. One of his problems, though, at the free throw line.
Rick Adelman thinks he has the potential to be just an outstanding defensive player with his size, with his quickness, with his strength, the ability to put him against different positions, as you just mentioned. This young man's going to keep getting better and better if he maintains the same work ethic, which, according to Rick, is just great.
Michael Jordan has returned. For those who may have just tuned in, had only a 3-for-9 outing in the first quarter, 6 points. Portland leads by 1. Jordan over Ainge. Michael Jordan going glass. Bulls 27, and the Trailblazers 26.
Well, if Jordan comes in, that means Pippen goes out and gets his rest now. One will always be out there.
Pippen sitting down with 6. That's a traveling violation.
Against Ainge, who he knows he can elevate up and over. He just backs him down to the point he wants and then knocks out a deuce.
8:21 remaining in this first half. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad from Chicago Stadium. First of our NBA doubleheader here on NBC. It'll be Utah and Phoenix following the Bulls and the Blazers. And coming up, our Prudential halftime report with Bob Costas, Quinn Buckner. They'll take a close-up look at that second game matchup featuring Utah and Phoenix. Utah leading the Midwest Division. Phoenix 4 games behind. Ainge with the head fake. Scott Williams went down. Here's Kersey who just checked back in. And he'll go to the line. He was hit by Livingston.
Well, that last time they ran a play for Danny Ainge, tried to bring him off a couple screens, and the screeners did a good job. They got a nice shot on Michael Jordan. The problem is the pass was a little too far outside. It knocked Ainge off stride. He never got a chance to square up. And when he finally did, there was Jordan with the recovery defensively.
Jerome Kersey has become one of the most physical, explosive, small forwards in the NBA. Another successful example of Portland going after terrific athletes, even if they're raw, and Kersey has come a long way from Longwood College in Virginia.
A guy who, again, comes in as a relatively unknown player in this league, and then when given the opportunity, certainly has made the most of it, adds that explosive group that Portland has.
Bulls have hit only one of the last 7 from the field. P.J. Armstrong with his first field goal. Chicago 29 and Portland 28.
And what's unusual is the fact that you have Portland shooting 15 free throws already, the Bulls none here in the stadium. And Portland has complained that they don't get their fair share on the road.
Purdue with the block, but it's thrown away, and Pack is hit by Williams.
Again, defense by the Bulls, the interior defense, the block shot, which then triggers the fast break. Will Purdue starting it out for Chicago.
Danny Ainge being checked over. Danny's shaken up on this play.
It's Danny's left ankle as he plants defensively, trying to deny the ball to Michael Jordan. The foot goes down, turns the ankle over.
Terry Porter has returned, as has Clyde Drexler. Drexler working inside. Scott Williams is hit from behind. Hit by Kersey. And that is the first on Jerome Kersey. Now Kevin Duckworth returning, and the Bulls will go to the foul line for the first time this afternoon. Danny Ainge is headed back to the locker room.
Did Danny get a little tape job on Danny? Bring him back out.
I wonder, is Ahmad still down there?
Maybe Danny's checking on the picture, make sure that...
I think he's checking on his valuables. Scott Williams had a good one on Friday night. He tied his career high with 10 points. Able to get the playing time with Horace Grant bothered by the knee problem, playing only 11 minutes. Scott also had 5 rebounds, 4 blocked shots. Some pressure here by the Bulls.
And this is what Chicago wanted to do, get to the free throw line so that they could eventually get into their full court press. No free throws up to this point, no press.
And it will be Chicago ball. 6:53 remaining in this first half. A timeout has been taken by Portland.
A mirror of me in a sense. I mean, he's so versatile. He plays, offense, he plays defense. He's good with assists. He can score. So you got to respect him in all areas of basketball. I'm just going to try to contain him as much as possible. Try to force him to shoot the outside shot, as most people try to force me to shoot the outside shot, and force him to his weaker hand, which is left. And that's what people do to me. So hopefully it can work against him.
You may get a debate here or there, but these are the 2 premier off guards or 2-guard scoring guards in the NBA.
Michael Jordan recently celebrated his 29th birthday. And as we mentioned earlier, appeared to be very pumped up about today's matchup with Clyde Drexler. To this point, both on the quiet side. Bill Cartwright is back on the floor. Cartwright, Grant, and Livingston up front. Armstrong and Jordan now in the backcourt. Crowd wanted a turnover. Drexler recovers, and Drexler hits, but it won't count. Offensive foul on Drexler.
Chicago almost came up with that ball twice on deflections. There's the first one. There's another hand in there where he loses control, but then when Drexler picks it up, he just turns to the basket. Offensive foul call.
The Bulls have hit only 4 of 13 from the field in the second quarter. And the foul committed by Duckworth. All right, now let's go to Ahmad for this report.
All right, Marv. Danny Ainge just sustained a sprained left ankle. They are looking at it now. They'll evaluate it at halftime to decide whether or not he can continue to play. Marv?
All right, Ahmad Rashad. I should point out a man who feels that the Iowa caucus is a CBA franchise. Give me some reaction. He's looking at me.
Ahmad told me this morning I got to join sides with him. It's his day today.
I thought my writers came up with a decent line.
Yeah, it was fair.
All right, Bill Cartwright, whose foul shooting has dropped off this season. The Bulls have had trouble at the foul line. We were talking about it with Chicago coach Phil Jackson yesterday after practice. Drexler with the feed, mishandled. Kersey on the recovery, throws up a bad shot. Shot clock is down to 12. Jordan with the steal. Paxson tried to square up, and Grant hit on the reach-in by Buck Williams. I asked Phil Jackson when he was having troubles in his playing days with the New York Knicks and the New Jersey Nets, when he was having trouble at the foul line, how would he handle it? He said Bill Bradley would usually talk to him because he felt Bradley had perfect form at the line, did it all with minimal effort. There's Grant missing a free throw, so the Bulls now 2 for 5 from the line, and he said Bradley would make corrections as Phil would have his problems at the line, and he's tried everything in terms of trying to get the Bulls out of it. They are in a free throw shooting funk.
He said, for a big man, I had too much movement in my stroke. Bradley had refined it down to the point to take out all the extras. Definitely was a factor in helping Phil improve.
What would you do with a club that's having free throw shooting problems? Paxson with the steal.
Well, besides changing your drills, working on it some more, sometimes staying away from it if you felt you had too much, we would bring in a specialist. We used to call him the shot doctor, who would work with the players on their stroke. The players respected him, and we'd take little index cards down with his notes and hope that it would work.
Michael Jordan making the jump shot work. He has 10. The Bulls lead at 34-28. Here's Porter. That's 2-point range. Paxson met by Porter. Pippen guarded by Kersey. And Ronnie Nunn with the call away from the ball. Chicago in the midst of a 7-0 run. Porter called for the foul. That is his second. Rick Adelman upset with that call, and a timeout has been taken. 4:59 remaining. First half. The Bulls 34. The Trailblazers 28. For Drexler, the Bulls 37. The Trailblazers 31. Cartwright met by Williams. Pippen trying to save it. Bulls able to get back. Williams from Drexler. And the Bulls now lead by 4. Pippen is hanging.
And that's his partner, Michael Jordan, who that time took the ball out of bounds, looked the entire length of the floor to find Pippen alone.
8 points for Scottie Pippen. Bulls 39. Trailblazers 33. Buck Williams had to change the direction of the shot as he was met by Pippen and Cartwright. Jordan wide open. Rebound Pippen. And he's fouled by Buck Williams.
Little role reversal that time for Chicago. Paxson with the ball, looking to the deep opposite corner to find Jordan for the spot-up jump shot.
Now change on that foul call. It's against Jerome Kersey. For Kersey, his second.
Keep your eyes all the time down the floor. See if someone happens to make a mistake. That time the Trailblazers had no one covering the backcourt.
Scottie Pippen, the youngest of 12 children from Hamburg, a small town in southern Arkansas.
Scottie kind of hanging out after he fell down, saying, "Come on, Michael, just look up."
Well, the tale of the Chicago Bulls free throw shooting continues to be off stride. 5 for 10 from the line. Buck Williams. And the Bulls now lead 40-35. Buck has 6 points. Paxson given the room. That's his third field goal for 6. And the Bulls lead by 7.
I think Paxson's one of the guys that keeps yelling out, "Throw the ball to Michael. Throw it to Michael." Because then he knows he just slides to an open spot, and it's a deuce.
Drexler for 3. And that was under pressure. Two and a half remaining in this first half. Last touched by the Trailblazers.
And Paxson upset. He felt he was hit on the arm on the way up, wanted to call, but after the last call had taken place in front of the Blazer bench, you got to really earn that next one.
John Paxson, the perfect compliment of Michael Jordan, although his numbers have been slightly off this season. Here's Jordan. Michael Jordan with a gorgeous spin. The Bulls lead it 44-35, 14 for Jordan.
I think you can really see Michael accepting the challenge right now and being much more assertive and aggressive in the game.
We approach 2 minutes remaining first half. Porter setting off the dribble. Drexler from downtown. Yes. And back comes Pippen. Able to exploit the Trailblazers, who once again did not get back.
It's obvious that they've talked about this because that's twice now that they've gotten it back in quick after a score. Pippen runs out as soon as the basket's made by the Trailblazers. He's gone. Now it's just a matter of which Bull can get it out of bounds quick enough and then get it out into the outlet area.
And Pippen will go to the line. He was fouled by Kersey, number 3 on Jerome Kersey. Kersey sitting down. He's 0 for 5 as a follow-up to the 0 for 6 on Friday night. Pippen is 1 out of 2 from the line. Off the steal, it's Grant. Yes! And it counts.
The carelessness of inbounding the basketball, not taking care of the ball at a very critical time. This last little stretch before the half should end. You don't want the Bulls with the speed, the quickness, the ability to cover so much ground. They just kind of invite you to throw the pass and are waiting for it, anticipate it, and go get it.
And the Trailblazers with a very careless finish to this second quarter. Shot clock down to 1. Jordan from downtown. muscles it free. Here's Jordan, and he's fouled.
When you outlet the basketball, you must be careful against Chicago. Don't assume that they're just going to turn and run back and not look. They're always looking to try and pick one off. When Michael makes his move, if the tongue is out, you know that he's getting ready to do something serious. The tongue was out. Serious, strong move to the hole.
Foul was committed by Abdelnaby. Michael Jordan, 83% free throw shooter. Well, you talk about the winning touch. Only 6 men. Horace Grant receiving a standing ovation as he sits down, replaced by Cliff Levingston. Only 6 men in the history of basketball have managed to be on the winning end of an NBA title, an Olympic gold medal, and an NCAA championship. The 6 including our own Quinn Buckner, who will be joining Bob Costas at halftime. It's Michael Jordan, Quinn Buckner, Jerry Lucas, Casey Jones, Bill Russell, and Clyde Lovellette in that charmed circle. It is Chicago ball with 11 seconds to go in the first half.
The MVP for the Bulls today could wind up being Chip Schaefer, the trainer who got Grant's knee back into shape, and Grant playing extremely well today.
A couple of steals by Horace Grant that electrified this crowd. Now Abdelnaby sitting down. Bulls by 13 as we approach halftime. Final seconds, second quarter. Pippen putting the move on Robinson. Able to find Robinson. 1 and 9/10 seconds. Here's Pat. The Chicago Bulls, hearing it from the crowd. Michael Jordan coming on strong in the second quarter, has 16 at halftime. Clyde Drexler, after the good start, cooling off. He has 14.
When Chicago spreads the floor, it's either going to be Pippen or Jordan that they put the pressure on to either score or deliver. That time the delivery made to Levingston, who finishes with the dunk. That's the way you want it to happen, particularly in this building, to end the half.
A 35-17 second quarter edge for the Bulls over Portland. They lead at halftime by 15. Coming up, Bob and Quinn will be back.
Destroyed during the game. This team has 2 stars, so either the small forward or big guard could be in for a long afternoon.
Kersey also playing with 3 fouls, as is Duckworth. Here's Pippen. A gorgeous move by Pippen. The Bulls extend to a 17-point lead. Kersey up front with Williams and Duckworth. Kersey stopped again. Pippen with Cartwright and Grant on the front line. Paxson and Jordan in the backcourt. Duckworth jumping out on a switch. Cartwright is wide open. Rebounded by Kersey.
And what Pippen did was he kept his dribble alive long enough and far enough away from that pick and roll situation to force 2 defenders to play him.
Kevin Duckworth. That's his 3rd field goal. He has 7. A reminder at the end of today's game, NBC Sports will be selecting the Miller Genuine Draft Play of the game. Paxson played by Porter. Shot clock at 5. Jordan for 3. Pippen hustling inside, and the Bulls keep it alive. They get a new 24. Pippen for 3. Scottie Pippen does not look for the shot from downtown frequently. That is only his 13th of the season. The Bulls lead by 18. Duckworth and Jordan getting to the rebound. Here's Paxson. And the Bulls pulling away, now lead it by 20.
And Rick Adelman may need a quick timeout right here to stop the game. He's taking it, in fact, and it's time to regroup quickly because this Bulls team puts you away early in games.
So the timeout taken by Portland with 2 minutes gone by in the third.
Scottie Pippen will show you the inside and then take a page from Michael on that little flip finish and then show you the outside part of his game by coming up with a second shot opportunity, finding that three-point line, getting behind it and saying, Mr. Bill, give me a chance, I'll knock it out.
Is that what he said?
Exactly.
18 points for Pippen as a follow-up to his season high of 41 on Friday night in Milwaukee. Scottie Pippen is connected on 8 out of 14 from the floor. Drexler for 3. And the poor Portland shooting continues. They were only 6 for 19 in the second quarter. Jordan. It gets worse and worse for the Trailblazers. They're now down by 22. Kersey 0 for 7. But Williams missed the layup. Pippen able to slap it to Jordan. And Michael Jordan will go to the line.
And Michael was about to put a show on for the folks here in the stadium, and Porter trying to come by, actually get a deflection. Did not want to take Michael down. It's just that the two bodies moving so fast at each other, the contact took place. It was yesterday that Michael mentioned this time last season, this Bulls team started to play its best ball. They can destroy on the glass, and then when they get out running and play unselfish basketball, Jordan looking to finish. Unfortunately, the deflection that time by Porter. But Michael was saying, not only did we beat people, but we beat them well. We beat them by big numbers. We sent the message out right at this point a season ago.
Timeout taken by the Trailblazers. The Bulls have outscored the Blazers 10-2 here in the third quarter. It's Chicago by 23. Incredible run to hit 70, and it's another Portland turnover.
I think Portland is trying to find every way of turning the basketball over this afternoon to give us a look at it, because the frustration is set in. They're just not concentrating right now.
I can recall talking about the possibility of 70 wins earlier this season with Phil Jackson. Jordan stripped. Good play, and the Trailblazers back to the offense where they have been silent. Nice pass from Porter. Buck Williams. And the Bulls now lead 66-44. Earlier in the season, Phil Jackson said it is not a goal of the Bulls. In fact, it could be a negative because the players might get too involved in thinking about 70. Grant from Jordan. Rather than preparing for the playoffs, it could take away from the motivation come playoff time.
Everything will fall into place in the stretch run, and this team understands what they have to do. They've been there. They accomplished what they wanted last year. Now it's coming back and repeating a new challenge.
Drexler. Duckworth. And Duckworth able to pull it away from Pippen. Tipped. And let's see who gets credit for it. It is Drexler. By Drexler. With the tip, the Bulls now lead 68-46. Portland coming in at 39-17, second best record behind Chicago. The Bulls at 47-11. They've won their last 2, 8 of their last 10. To lead the Central by 8.5 in front of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kersey, wild shot by Kersey.
Kersey just can't get it going today, and it's frustrating.
And the alley-oop broken up by Drexler.
Against most normal people, you complete that, but the guy jumping against Pippen that time was Drexler.
It was kicked out by Porter. It will be Chicago ball.
Pippen goes up above most people, but when it's Drexler jumping with him, it takes a little bit more to get away from him.
Cliff Robinson replacing Jerome Kersey, who is now 0 for 8. 6:50 to go in the third. Grant off the beautiful pass from Jordan.
The total awareness of where everyone is on the floor, what the Portland defense is trying to do, and then getting in the right spots. The alignment's correct, then it's the execution that completes it.
Robinson. Abdelnaby, who just checked in, was hacked. And he will go to the free throw line. Foul committed by Jordan. That is his second.
On ball reversal by the Bulls, Michael Jordan always keeping an eye in the heart of the defense, in the lane, finds Grant flashing into the open spot.
Ala Abdelnaby, 2 out of 4 from the foul line. This is a Portland Trailblazer team that opened the season at 1-3 in their first 6 weeks. They lost as many games at home, 5, as they did all last season, but then went on a tear. They won 10 of the last 13, and they have been rolling ever since. Ronnie Dunn says a lane violation committed by the Bulls, so an extra free throw awarded to Abdelnaby.
The coaching staff and team for Portland admitted that they spent so much time working on their half-court offense because people said they couldn't execute in the half-court area, that it took away from their running game early in the year. And as a result, they weren't playing the same style basketball that had gotten them out to that quick start the season before.
And last year they went 63-19. They had opened up 19-1, the second best start in NBA history. At one stretch, 27-3. Jordan can't locate the shot. Now he does. Abdelnaby on the rebound. Then in the playoffs, Portland defeated Seattle, Utah, but lost to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, losing to the Lakers in 6. Drexler with the step. Drexler on the rebound. And the tip. So Clyde Drexler with 16, Chicago 70, and Portland 50. Five and a half remaining in the third. Jordan feeling around for Drexler. Yes, and it counts.
A moment ago at the other end, Drexler goes 1-on-3 against the Bulls team, takes a tough, bad shot, but the persistency in this game. Nothing there, up again, the quick leap, second jump opportunities. But at this end of the floor, when the Bulls are on offense, you've got to defend against the best in the game, Michael Jordan, up and over the top.
Foul called on Drexler, his second. .23 points for Jordan. The Bulls lead at 73-50. Drexler feeding Robinson, stopped by Cartwright, and then foul.
The crowd wants the travel call before the foul takes place. Phil Jackson wants the travel call, saying, hey, he moved his feet, established an entirely new pivot foot, but Robinson will go to the line and shoot 2.
With Robinson at the line.
Drexler with the feed, finds his teammate in the right side. 1 foot, 2, 3, 4. They got an argument there.
The Portland Trailblazers shooting only 30% for the game. 17 for 56 in what has been a horror show. They're 4 for 14 in the third quarter. Still a long way to go, but Rick Adelman talking about the bad performance against the Nets in New Jersey last week. This might be right there.
And maybe we should give the Nets a little bit of credit. Not only did they beat the Trailblazers, but then beat the Detroit Pistons this week. That's a pretty good week for the Nets.
3-second violation. Michael Jordan throwing several fakes, and the Bulls, as a result, could not get out of the lane. The Bulls 73 and the Trailblazers 52. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Robinson. Fouled by Pippen.
One of the many problems that the Trailblazers have is that normally when you're down this many points in the game, but there's still over 16 minutes to be played, you can look for quicker shots, and if the team that you're playing against doesn't really dig in, you may have a chance of coming back, cut the lead down to, let's say, 10, 12 by the end of the quarter, and then you feel like you have a good shot coming down the stretch. Chicago, however, digs in. Every shot is challenged. They work the 24-second clock, make you throw a number of passes, and as a result, you have to hope that your players don't get over-anxious to start shooting them too early, not taking good shots.
Cliff Robinson only 65% from the line. Full 73. Trailblazers 54. Again, the pressure by Portland.
And Portland going into a three-quarter court trap, a 2-2-1 action, trying to force some action with their defense.
Pippen able to recover. Jordan shaking off Drexler, then on a switch, and then Cartwright.
Two-man game worked to perfection. Cartwright set the high screen. Jordan took it 2-3 dribbles past the action, let it develop, opened up the defense, and then Cartwright rolled to the spot.
Robinson backing, and he will go to the foul line.
Michael Jordan has just cleared the screen on the pick and roll. Cartwright, the man who set the screen, just needs to find an open spot. The defense does not cover the lane. Cartwright converts.
Now Bill Cartwright sitting down, replaced by Will Perdue. Cartwright leaves with 6 points. Cliff Robinson was fouled by Michael Jordan, is now 6 for 7 from the line. The Bulls by 20. They have blown out the Trailblazers here in the third. We come up on 4 minutes remaining third quarter. Reach and foul on Porter. And that is number 4 on Terry Porter. Third team foul committed by Portland.
Chicago has been so good during the season that in games decided by 15 points or more, they are 19-0. And as a result, their bench has had an opportunity to play so many more minutes. Everyone on the bench, with the exception of Hodges, has gone up. And obviously, some of the starters' numbers are going to go down because of the blowouts.
Foul call on Drexler. Robert Pack getting set to check back in. Michael Jordan to the line. There you see it, 19-0 in games decided by 15 or more. So Phil Jackson has enjoyed extensive garbage time during the course of the season.
And to carry it one step further, to show you the pride level on this Bulls team, they're 19-0 when it's 15 or more, yet they have yet to be blown out themselves this year in the game. They show up and accept the challenge each night, and as the players mentioned yesterday, we're finding out how hard it is to be the defending champions. Every arena, it's the biggest game for that particular team to knock the Bulls off.
Yet the Bulls, with that record at 47-11, have been able to get off to their best start in the history of the franchise. It's their best record ever after 58 games. And again, they've done it here at home, 25-3. That is the second best home record. Only Utah is better. And the loose ball foul is called on Drexler, trying to get it back following the steal.
Clyde Drexler a little frustrated that he let Michael get that quick arm reach hand. Jordan anticipates on the pullback. He reaches, gets the deflection, and here Clyde tries to get it back himself, but the body contact.
4 apiece on Drexler. And Porter and Michael Jordan back to the foul line. Chicago Bulls, who won their first NBA championship last season by knocking off the Los Angeles Lakers in 5 after defeating Detroit, Philadelphia, and the Knicks. Last season they went 61-21 during the regular season.
Michael Jordan, after making his first 7 free throw attempts, misses.
The Bulls 78 and the Trailblazers 56. Here's pressure by Chicago, and they are rattled by the pressure of the Bulls. Here's Perdue, 80-56.
And just when you think the Bulls might get comfortable and relaxed, they put the press on after a free throw.
Cliff Robinson connecting on a rare Portland field goal. Purdue with Pippen and Grant now up front. Paxson and Jordan in the backcourt. Pippen. Stuck home, but it will not count. That is offensive interference.
Michael Jordan.
But it is called offensive interference. It was waved off. We'll be right back.
It's a whole new feeling. It's a whole new day.
2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Mike, you have the feeling Ahmad has nothing to do at this point. Drexler.
I think Ahmad is having a good time today at the stadium.
18 for Drexler. And the Bulls now lead 80-60. Portland, here's Scott Williams. And the foul on Will Purdue. Portland overall with only 19 field goals. The combination of Jordan and Pippen has accounted for 17 field goals. Well, Abdelnaby will go to the line with Chicago now over the foul limit. 2:36 remaining in the third quarter. Abdelnaby now up front, along with Cliff Robinson and Mark Bryant, who has come on for the first time. Mark in his 4th year out of Seton Hall. That's Terry Porter sitting down. Robert Pack and Clyde Drexler in the backcourt.
I'm not sure Portland has enough points out on the floor right now to be able to make a strong comeback here and close this thing down in the last 2.5 minutes of the third quarter.
Danny Ainge sidelined the rest of the way. Turned his ankle in the first half. Will not return. Scott Williams posting. Thought he was fouled. Purdue won't count. Spectacular for the personal highlight reel of Will Purdue, but he was traveling.
And Phil Jackson working hard to try and get Big Will a couple free throw attempts. The off-balance shot first, the follow-up opportunity by Will, but the travel taking place first.
The steal by Pippen.
Scottie Pippen hung up there long enough to let Pack go underneath him, get by, clear him, and still finish way above the rim.
The Bulls have just dismantled the Trailblazers. That is a three-pointer by Drexler. And the Bulls now lead 82-64. Time running down in the third. 1.5 minutes remaining. B.J. Armstrong for Scottie Pippen. Able to elude Cliff Robinson. Jordan able to keep it alive. Shot clock at 5. Armstrong for 3. And a foul called on Purdue.
Pippen or Jordan, most dangerous when playing defense and anticipating the passing lane. They cover so much ground. They run right through the pass. And then once he gets elevated, lets Pack go by and then finishes.
Stacey King has come on for the first time. Stacey King played well earlier in the season in the starting lineup at center for the injured Bill Cartwright. Cartwright was out with a broken left hand. Stacey had a disappointing first 2 years, including a couple of controversial incidents. Of most significance last year, walking out of practice, suspended by the club. Many thought he would be traded after last season, but he's had some good flashes this year.
Yeah, and he's handled everything that's happened very well. The look inside to his teammate, Will Purdue.
There's Pippen. Oh! Good box out by Abdelnaby.
last year in frustration when he walked out of practice because of lack of playing time. He then made a couple statements that weren't accepted well here within the community. Right now, everything is team-oriented, that he's saying he understands what his role is now.
Will Perdue, a crowd favorite, hearing it for the box out. Half minute to go in the third. Jordan from King. And Jordan to the line. Nice give and go between Stacey King and Michael Jordan.
I'm surprised because I thought that by now, as we have a little give and go action taking place there, Jordan receiving the bounce pass in the middle of the lane. I thought that one of the two, either Pippen or Jordan, would be out, taking advantage of the upcoming timeout, give them that rest during the break, and then have them ready to come back in the fourth quarter. Both are still on the floor.
Phil Jackson taking no chances despite the big lead. It is now an 18-point margin. Terry Porter returns. And now Scottie Pippen sits down. Cliff Levingston is back. Here comes Craig Hodges. And Will Perdue departs. Michael Jordan gunning for his 28th point, 9 for 10 at the line. The Bulls 84, Trailblazers 65. Here's pressure by the Bulls.
Chicago will hope to get a stop and perhaps one quick shot at the basket, but if the Trailblazers run this clock down, there'll be no chance, no way to get one back.
Abdelnaby with the backdoor feed. Nice play. And Drexler able to hit. Bulls lead 84, 67, 10 seconds remaining in the third. Drexler's playing with 4 fouls. Drexler able to get the hand in for the steal. Time running out. Drexler fires. And that's the end of the third quarter. It's the Bulls over the Trailblazers by the score of 84-67. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Ahmad Rashad. The Bulls open up with pressure as the Trailblazers start out of the backcourt. Porter and Pack at the guards. Now Drexler up front with Abdelnaby and Robinson. Pack's pass picked off by Levingston.
Well, the pick and roll situation takes place if both people are able to communicate, understand where they're going to be. The pass was made in the center of the lane. Unfortunately, the screener had stepped back for a jumper.
High point man of the game, Michael Jordan, 28. Scottie Pippen has 20. Here's Levingston. Cliff Levingston did a nice job the other night in Milwaukee with Horace Grant, bothered by the knee problem. Clyde Drexler leading Portland with 24 points and 11 rebounds. Drexler for 3. The steal by Pack. Here's Robinson, rejected by King. Craig Hodges gets it down. B.J. Armstrong. The Bulls 88. And the Trailblazers 67.
B.J. Armstrong really has a refreshing outlook and attitude towards the game, and particularly with the Chicago Bull team.
And B.J. has been getting more playing time this season and has handled it well. Timeout is called. We'll be right back. Minute 20 gone by in the fourth quarter. Drexler with the feed. And Cliff Robinson was pushed from behind, hit by Craig Hodges. The Bulls with an 88-67 lead on the Trailblazers. They broke it open in the second quarter. And the Trailblazers have not been able to recover. 18 turnovers for Portland. And a series of turnovers hurt the Trailblazers in the second quarter. Abdelnaby. That's his second field goal. He has 9 points. 88-69. Chicago. Backcourt of Armstrong and Hodges. Jordan sitting down. Livingston is up front along with Pippen and King. Stacey King. That's his first field goal.
Portland needs to really extend the defense, get after the Bulls a little bit more now, because Chicago's offense is geared to throw a number of passes, use some time up on the clock. You won't see a one-pass shot offense from Chicago.
Once again, a Bull steal leading into a foul committed by Portland as they try to get it back, and it's Drexler collecting number 5.
And Clyde feeling that initially the contact was made by Pippen on the reach-in, but that's got to be a tough afternoon for you when first you're facing Michael Jordan, and then when they give Jordan the break, they just move Scottie Pippen in to play defense against you.
Pippen trying to shake Drexler off. Armstrong played by Porter. And comes Robert Pack. And Pack able to penetrate. Offensive interference. It'll be Chicago ball.
You can get up on the rim, but if you hang on the rim, the official's going to call it right there. Abdelnaby using his left hand to support himself, the right hand to try and follow and dunk. No good, waved off by Ronnie Nunn.
Hodges on a quick release. 3 minutes have gone by in the fourth quarter. The Bulls lead by 21. Abdelnaby, the Bulls 90, and the Trailblazers 71.
When we spoke with Rick Adelman yesterday about Abdelnaby, one thing he said coming in, he had outstanding footwork, post-up moves down low for a big guy. They had done a real good job with him in college, and I felt that his game was way along for a young.
And the Bulls keep it alive. Hodges attempting the 3. It will be Portland ball. Coming up next, second half of our NBA doubleheader. It'll be Utah going up against Phoenix. And the foul committed by Livingston. Dick Enberg, Steve Jones will be on hand to bring it to you. Utah leading the Midwest Division. They have won with the 5 fouls. Now the double up as Robinson comes over. Shot clock is at 5. Here's Hodges for 3.
Terry Porter turned around and looked at the officials as if to say, wait, there's no way I had a chance of getting out there. King was trying to freeze me in the entire time. He accomplished what he wanted to.
Greg Hodges hitting his second from downtown. Hodges again. Yes. But that's a 2-pointer. One of the quicker releases in the NBA. Catch and shoot. Greg Hodges.
Rhythm shooter. One dribble left shoot or catch and release quickly.
Timeout taken. 78. Hodges off the drive. Rebounded by Mark Bryant. Bryant, Robinson, and Drexler now up front. Pack and Porter at the guards. Porter lost it. Hodges feeding Jordan. Yes, and it counts.
There was a little bit of an exclamation point at the end of that one for Michael Jordan. The turnover by Porter, the quick push by Hodges, the nice bounce pass between the defender, and then Michael moving the defensive player out of the way with his left arm, just a slight little shove, and then the strong finish.
Robinson called for the foul. The Bulls 100. And the Trailblazers 78. Jordan has 31. It is another Portland turnover. It's been a long afternoon for that man, Rick Adelman, in his 4th season as head coach of Portland. First captain of the Trailblazers, an original member of the franchise. Played 7 years in the NBA with 5 teams. Hodges for 3.
The crowd loves to hear. They love watching him spot up in the deep corner, and his teammates know where to look for him to make him do what he does best, hit that open 3.
Drexler. Jordan got a piece of it. Drexler thought he was fouled. And a nice 2-on-1 executed between Armstrong and Hodges. Hodges is 13. And this capacity crowd greeting the Chicago Bulls as a timeout is called. 5:07 remaining in the fourth. And the Bulls in a walloping.
After they score a basket, Chicago takes advantage. The long look down the floor. Jordan to Pippen, the play of the game.
And in recognition of that play, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Will Perdue is getting set to check back, and here he comes for Michael Jordan. 31 points for Jordan, who certainly provided the spark this afternoon. Also 9 rebounds, 7 assists, just under 5 minutes to go. In this fourth quarter, they double up on Pack, Robinson, and Perdue with the rebound. Enos Watley has come on for the first time. Wayne Cooper is back, so Rick Adelman now emptying the bench. He has Robinson, Cooper, and Bryant up front. Hodges with the step. Good recovery by Pack.
2 game tapes that will not hang around very long on Rick's shelf. The Jersey game and this afternoon's versus Chicago.
As the Bulls will make it 2 out of 2 for the regular season. B.J. Armstrong with a true fadeaway. Like he was shaken up as he hit the floor. Here's Pack getting back.
It almost looked like he turned his ankle and knee as he came down.
Bulls now lead 107-80. We were talking with Clyde Drexler prior to the game and asking about the significance of today's contest. And he said, well, last season, we, meaning Portland, took Chicago 2 out of 2. Didn't mean anything. We didn't get to the finals, knocked off by the Lakers. What significance does the season series have here?
Well, I think what Clyde was saying is if we have to lose this afternoon, wind up 0-2 versus the Bulls, but we win the World Championship, I'll take it.
Clyde Drexler departing with 26 points, 12 rebounds. But Portland never did get it going. Blown out in the second. Careless play by the Trailblazers. The subject we talked about earlier with Clyde, the fact that there are many who say, here's Hodges for 3 once again, that many who say Portland does not play smart basketball, and they certainly were turnover prone this afternoon.
Well, none of the areas with Robinson for a deuce, none of the areas that can stop, okay, the snowball from building took place by the Portland team. When you're not shooting well, you got to dig in at the defensive end and protect the ball. None of those things happened for them today.
And Perdue was fouled. Little Showtime pass to set it up, thrown by Stacey King. Coming up next, second half of our NBA doubleheader. 2 Western Conference powers getting together. Karl Malone and the Midwest Division leading Utah Jazz going up against Kevin Johnson and the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Johnson sat out the Suns' last game, but he's okay. Will be back in the starting lineup. That's coming up next right here on NBC. Bobby Hansen has checked in for the first time for Chicago. Bobby Hansen, a one-time Utah Jazz. That was intended as a lob pass. Here's Pack putting the speed on, finding Robinson, and he blew the stop. Pack stepped out. It'll be Chicago ball.
It's just getting worse for these Trailblazers. This is a sure deuce. No, not so sure.
Portland now at 36% shooting for the game.
Shoot it.
Punctuated by the 6 for 19 in the second quarter. Livingston. Meanwhile, Chicago just under 50%. And Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan now relaxing and taking it all in from the bench. Quick play. Stacey King getting the tie-up.
Well, the last time down the floor for Chicago with Pippen and Jordan both on the bench, and Livingston has moved into that role, a little pick-and-roll action for Livingston, unusual. At this end, however, the good defensive rotation by King to force the jump ball.
Scott Williams back in, replacing Cliff Livingston. Livingston leads with 6 points.
And Livingston getting a little chuckle with Phil Jackson as he goes off the floor. Phil saying, hey, look, you've had enough now. Pick and roll into an open jump shot for you. That's enough. Sit down.
Here's Hansen. Make things even more difficult for the Trailblazers. Watley shooting. Robinson able to keep it alive. This is Wayne Cooper. Make things even more difficult. A very tough schedule coming up for Portland. Bryant was hacked. Tuesday, the Trailblazers back home to the LA Lakers, who have struggled recently, but still a difficult game. Lakers and the Trailblazers Tuesday. Wednesday they'll be at Denver, and then next Friday Sacramento, Sunday home for Seattle. So busy time for Portland. While Chicago Tuesday will be home for Indiana, and then Thursday at Minnesota. Many of these Chicago players mentioning that they are looking forward to playing the Indiana Pacers because Pacers seem to annoy them with
how could that happen?
A little trash talk.
Who would do that on the Indiana team?
They mentioned the name Chuck Person. Reggie Miller's name surfaced. Just under 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The Bulls lead 109-83. And Armstrong had it deflected by Watley. The Chicago Bulls will end this afternoon 9 full games in front of Cleveland. The record will be 48-11 with 9 victories the last 11 games. A bullet pass thrown by King. And the foul is called on Watley.
The late pass, no shot attempt. I'll find a teammate underneath, and the good hands of Williams coming up with that drop down pass.
Armstrong. Minute and a half remaining. It has been a Chicago Bulls blowout of the Portland Trailblazers. Watley. Bulls now lead 109-85. Enos Watley with his first field goal. King tried to flag it down.
B.J. Armstrong saw a couple of those early passes from the bench and said, wait a minute, I might be able to sneak one by here, trying to get his partner there, that second unit group, Stacey King, an easy 2 points.
Here's Mark Bryant. Bulls lead 109-87. The high man of the game, Michael Jordan, 31. Scottie Pippen with 20. Craig Hodges off the bench for 13, including 2 from downtown. Purdue. He has 6 points. Portland led by Clyde Drexler, who hit for 26. Cliff Robinson, 14, and Ala Abdulabi had 13. Robert Pack.
Chicago came out today, dug in at the defensive end of the floor, were determined to make this Portland team have to make shots from the outside, took away the inside game completely. Shots weren't falling. As a result, Chicago got out and ran, pounded the glass, but it was the key defensive stops of Jordan and Pippen most of the way that made it happen.
And we hope you stay with us for the second part of our NBA doubleheader as Pack is able to hit again. It'll be Utah and Phoenix. Dick Enberg, Steve Jones will be at the microphone. Coming up next right here on NBC. We're down to 20 seconds remaining. Scott Williams. Last touched by Bobby Hansen of the Bulls. So the Trailblazers will drop to 39-18 and for the moment in a tie for the lead in the Pacific with Golden State. Down to 3 seconds to go. And the Bulls hearing it from the crowd. A very strong effort by the NBA champion, Chicago Bulls. Portland held to 37% shooting. Drexler, 10 for 23 for 26. He was not a factor. Michael Jordan with a strong all-around game, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. 111-91, the Bulls.
Now, the Lakers would like to play a methodical half-court game. Keep it down 95 points or less. Try to get down inside and work hard and get to the foul line.
Campbell hard to the hoop. It was stolen by Kersey. The Blazers on the run. Porter threads the needle. Kersey missing the layup. Great pass from Porter.
Yes, the big thing here is if you have the shots, fine. Otherwise,